Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Marvel Legends action figure review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Marvel, well, it's relatively new, Marvel Legends Target exclusive X-Men Retro Card Weapon X figure. Now, to be honest, this figure was one that I really wasn't sure I was going to get when I first heard about it. I have the original one from, well, not the original one, but the last Hasbro one they did a while ago. And it's a great figure, so I wasn't really sure I needed a new one. But I ended up getting a couple different Target coupons, and so I was able to get this guy for, I think, under $20. So I figured, yeah, might as well pick him up. So, of course, we're going to be taking a look at him and seeing if he's worth it or not. So, we're going to dive right in, get him out of the package, and see if he was worth it. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging with all of his accessories, and this kind of feels like a step in the right direction for accessories. It is nice to get like a normal, standard Marvel Legends. This is just a regular, normal MSRP, and granted, it's a Target exclusive, so I guess that kind of, sways it a little bit, but it is nice to get a figure that's not, some kind of deluxe edition or maximum series that has a decent amount of extra accessories. You're not just getting the figure and 2 extra hands. You got a second set of hands and even an extra head. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at this guy here. I like the sculpt on that teeth there. There's really, and even his 5, you can kind of see some little bit of 5 o'clock shadow, which is pretty nice. I like that. Love the sculpting on the hair. That looks really cool. It's not just, your normal kind of Wolverine style hair. It actually looks like it's still wet, like he just got out of the tank or something. There's a lot of good detail on the helmet, but that is kind of one of my gripes with this, is there's no paint. It's just molded plastic. Now, yeah, I know I think this would have been 2025. Now we're reviewing this in 2026. Era Marvel Legends from Hasbro. We're not going to get as much paint, but it still is a little bit disappointing. I do, however, like how hairy he is. I like all the hair detail, because Wolverine's a hairy guy. We all know this. And it looks pretty good. I mean, he's even got it the whole way down on his legs, even on his feet. So he's a hairy dude. He is a hairy... Now, obviously, they didn't continue on the back, which some people might be like, oh, that's lazy, which I guess so, but... more times than not, he's going to be displayed from the front, so it's not that big of a deal. But you got the tubes and everything looking pretty good. He's got his harness, the big, techie devices on him. He's got the brown Speedo, things on his hands. The figure looks pretty good. I do like it, and we'll take a look here at... Now, this kind of threw me off. I wasn't expecting this to be removable. I was expecting this to be attached to it, the figure here, so... That's pretty nice, because, gives you some more display options there. I always like when they don't glue the accessories to the figure. But even looking at this guy, that is a really, really good head sculpt. I like that a lot. If I can get it to fix it. There we go. Again, you can see kind of like that 5 o'clock shadow. You got the different, experimentation nodes and nodules on his face. His eyes look really good. I like the more wild hair. It's not the normal kind of, tame. This is, very much a savage or feral look for him, which I like. It's weird the mutton chops aren't connected there, but, that's not a big deal. You could honestly just, paint that or something if you really wanted it. But I do like this a lot. This almost gives me, Hugh Jackman and Van Helsing kind of vibes, if you've ever seen that. And you got, like I said, here's the little kind of, I don't know what, this is one of the devices for Weapon X that we have. Looks like you probably plugged the, you can kind of see there probably one of the tubes or something in there. So you can do like that around his neck or something. Very cool. He has this kind of just open hand. Again, got some nice detail with the hair on it. I do like that's a nice touch. I think they've used this hand quite a few times for... I think Wolverine and some other characters. I think they use this for a lot for the Logans, for like the he comes with a set of like a hand of cards or something. Then we just have another generic fist here. Again, more of that hair detail, and it looks pretty good. Then we got these. These. I absolutely love these. I like this kind of open hand, almost looking like the claws have kind of emerged from his hands for the first time. And again, you can even kind of see there's a little bit. Here, let me show you. Pull it up on the one. You can kind of see right where the claws peg into place. It almost looks like the skin's raised around them, and they're shooting out of it. That's very cool. Again, more of that hair on there. These hands kind of, for me personally, because I would love to pose a Weapon X Wolverine kind of maybe like on his knees, like he's like growling in pain, and these hands would be very good for that pose. I like that a lot. Now, speaking of the claws, I hate these claws. I absolutely hate them. There are a couple figures that I ended up getting that I ended up, already opening and displaying because I kind of had some tech issues, so I wasn't able to record or anything. I might do some reviews on them later. I'm not sure. But they have done these claws a couple times. They did a X-Men 97 Logan, which I did get, and those claws would not stay in his hands for the life. I had to glue them. Now, so far, especially on these hands, they do seem to be staying pretty good. Even on this one, they're not moving too much. But on the fisted ones, like you can see, like they're already like that one right there is very loose and wiggly. These two are good, but that one's very loose. And then on this hand, that one's kind of loose too. The spacing on these is pretty good, but the spacing on I don't like these claws. I hope they don't keep using these. I hope they go back to I really liked when they were doing the movie style ones that had the thicker, more like blade looking claws. Those are my favorite ones that Hasbro has done so far. But they do, they work. I like the color of them. I like that they, of course everything falls on me. I like that they have more of this, gunmetal kind of gray color. I like that a lot. And they do kind of look metallic and they catch the light very well. So I do like that. All you got to do standard with all the other figures, you just pop the hands off here. Let's show him off with some of his accessories on here. I'll pop these hands in, and then I guess because like you can pop that off, and then put this on, and that's where this will go. Just peg that in there, right there. If you want to do the and this is kind of, there we go. If you want to do the non-helmeted look with the, I guess open grabby hands with the claws, and that looks good too. I do like that. My only real complaint is, again, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the lack of paint on here, and I do kind of wish he had more of an angry, like yelling face as opposed to the neutral and like just the teeth gritting face on this one. But for the most part, it's worth it. I do like it. It's a solid figure. Alrighty, now that we have shown off all the figures accessories, let's get on to some size comparisons so you guys can see how he scales with some other figures. Start off, here he is, kind of just like a generic, average scale Marvel Legend. We have the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. There he is. He should be shorter than Spider-Man, so good scaling there. Here he is next to, we have some X-Men. I'll show him off. Here he is. This, I think, is the, what? Was it the Warlock wave Build-A-Figure Cyclops? Throw some X-Men in here. Show him off with the other team members. So that scale's pretty good. And then we'll show him off a couple other versions of himself. We have X-Men 97 Tiger Stripe Wolverine and the X-Men 97 Brown Suit Wolverine. And this is a figure I might actually do a review on, because if you guys have watched my Secret Wars Wolverine video, I'm not the biggest fan of the brown suit, but this figure is phenomenal. But there he is next to these guys, and they're all pretty much, again, the same height. It helps because they have the same kind of torso, which is the old upside down kind of U-joint with the waist rotation there. And probably the biggest comparison here, we're going to show them off with the, this is that older Marvel Legends Weapon X figure. Whoop. And you can see a lot of similarities here. It isn't, obviously, one big difference is the older one has pins and the newer one does not. And then you can kind of see, like I was talking about, the helmets. Like this one just looks, I think there's way more sculpting. It just looks better. The harness has this strap across the front. This one actually, I'm kind of impressed. It has way more hair detail on it than I remembered. But even I think, you know, the tech things on it, they just look better. They have this more of like a gunmetal gray plastic, where this is kind of more of just like a stock standard gray. Can I show this? Yeah, there you can kind of see there's a big color difference there. But I do like that this kind of has like readings on it as opposed to this just blank screen. I do kind of think I kind of like the red. Well, here, let me plug that back in. I kind of like the red wires better a little bit too, but that's just personal preference. Basically, yeah, all the same wires, just in a different color plastic. And this one has the black Speedo as opposed to the brown one. And I did put these aren't the actual hands that come with him. These come with the X-Men Origins Wolverine figure from the X-Men Anniversary Wave. I thought he would look better with the bladed claws, and I honestly think he does. The skin tone is slightly different, but, you know, not bad. I do like it. What I'm probably going to do is I am probably going to mix and match parts between those. Like I might take the head and the harness and everything and put it on here and use these hands, or I might use, because I have a roaring face that came with him, I might use that. So there's probably going to be a lot of mixing and matching going on, but this is a good figure. I do like this one a lot. Alright, now I did kind of do this out of order, but I'm a little rusty, so we're just going to go with it. But articulation on this guy, it's very standard for, you know, normal Marvel Legends. His head's not going to look up too far. It'll look down a lot because of the helmet and the hair on the back, but if you switch the other one on, it'll have a much better range of motion. But I figured, since this is kind of, you know, the main display option, one of the main reasons for this to get this character, I'll do it with that one. So his head can rotate pretty well. The cable, obviously, you can just pop this out and move it around if you need to get some more, you know, dynamic posing or whatever. You know, good, really good butterfly joints on this guy. I'm very impressed by that. And this isn't secured in place or anything, so the straps don't really get too much in the way of things. He can bring his arms forward like that. They could have maybe cut them in a little bit deeper. Maybe. Oh, there we go. The joints on mine are very, very stiff, so I'm trying not to, you know, go too far, but arms do a complete 360. Again, you just have to be wary of the cables. You know, you got hinges out here. They go in and out. Bicep, yeah, and this is where they're the bicep swivel on mine is very tight, but it is there. You can get the bicep swivel, and then double jointed elbows. Bending a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is pretty good. Those were very, very stiff getting him immediately out of the box. So this is a figure, if you do decide to pick it up, warm water or a hairdryer or something, get those joints loosened up. But all of his hands have the same, you know, hinge up and down, and they can obviously rotate. He has the old school joint, as I mentioned before. You can crunch down that far, back that far. Waist swivel, which almost sounds like it has a ratchet, which is interesting. Legs can kick forward about that much. Back, not really too much. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and feet can bend down that far, go up that far, and of course we have some good ankle pivots. So standard articulation for, you know, your normal Marvel Legends figures. You're going to get them in any kind of basic pose you want to get them in. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for the articulation on this guy. Alright, so final thoughts on this guy. Do I recommend him? Yes and no. Now, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on here. If you do not have a Weapon X figure in your collection, and like me, you're a big Wolverine fan, and you want to have a Weapon X figure in your collection, this is great. It's a great option. I think the paint apps and whatnot, where they have them, are very good. I like all the hair and whatnot. I like the sculpt. I love these hands that are on him. It's a very good offering for a Weapon X figure if you do not have one. And I stress, if you do not have one. Because if you have this guy, then I don't see the point. Unless you're like a massive Uber Wolverine fan like I am. Or maybe you do want to do what I'm going to do and do some swapping of things and whatnot. But if you just want a good Weapon X figure and you already have this one, you don't need to spend the money and get this one, save it, and get another figure. If you don't have one at all, absolutely get this one. And that's because it is worth it. If you don't have one, it's worth it. Like I say, if you already have this one, I don't see the point unless, like I said, like I'm going to do, you're going to switch some stuff around. So this is one, it's very much up to you guys. Do you have one? No, get the figure. If you already have one, maybe hold off. Maybe it's not necessarily needed. But yeah, those are my basic thoughts on the figure. I appreciate you guys, as always, for watching it. That's going to be it for me on this one. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you are so inclined. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you guys all have a great day. And as always, peace and love, everybody.